we would like to share our experiences and also our thoughts about the CA profession as such, and also what kind of opportunities you students can look for if, since you already opted to do CA course. In the next 1 hour, you will get to know most of the aspects of what you will be doing as a student of chartered accountancy, and what kind of opportunities you should look for when you do your articleship, and how to choose an articleship firm for your articleship training, and how you can plan your career in case you have a specific goal in your career plans. So these are the things what we will be looking into, and I will be glad to take any questions as long as we have time for that. Rashmi is my colleague and a chartered accountant. She is going to help me with some of the aspects wherever chip in, and wherever I am forgetting, so she will chip in. With this, I think we should proceed without wasting much of our time.
Now, sir, at the outset, yes, today's agenda does have few very important questions which students would have before starting articleship. And I would, as we have prepared a list of some small questions, which we already know students would be interested about, sir. The first question obviously being it, how important is articleship in the CA qualification? If you could guide us as to students, especially as to how important the articleship is in their entire 3-year journey which they do. What does this do with regard to their qualification post qualifying?
Yeah. First thing what comes to the mind of any CS student, as soon as they register for the CA course, you finish your foundation and maybe one group of IPCC, you will find this coming to your mind. Why we should do articleship, why we should work, which everybody will at some point of time ponder upon. One thing we should understand, CA course is very unique in the sense no other professional course gives you an opportunity to apply your knowledge when you are learning practically in your life. This is one course where all the students, whoever is doing their CA course, will get an opportunity to learn on the job. So a person who is qualifying as a chartered accountant after the end of 3 years or 4 years will be market ready. So you depending on the kind of interest you show in your work and your articleship, in your learning, you can be ready to take up any challenge as soon as you qualify. Unlike other professions, like for example, medicine, you have to do one or 2 years of internship after you finish MBBS. In case of engineering, I don't have to say, because after engineering, many of the students will find it difficult to get onto the job, because they need on the job training again for 1 year, 2 years. All these things will come up. So this is a opportunity. 3 years what you get here is an opportunity for not only experimenting from whatever learning you have, whatever knowledge you have, but to fine tune the knowledge. Having said that, you also get an opportunity to transform yourself. See, articleship comes when as soon as you are finishing your student life, or maybe you are still a student, and all the years you have spent as student will have you would have developed a different mindset. You will have a very carefree and somebody would be taking care of most of your things and things like that. But you have to transform yourself into a thorough professional. As a chartered accountant, you cannot continue to have the student mindset. So you will have to be ready to get into the transformation, and no other platform can provide you an opportunity to do that. Whoever has joined articleship training as a student, we have seen the kind of transformation they see in the 3 years of their training. Initially, when they come, they will be very naive and very very difficult for them to get adjusted to the office life and the professional life. But at the end of the 3rd year, they will go out from our office as a very confident and thorough professional, so they can go and face the world. This articleship is going to help everybody. It's not just for those who want to practice. It is not just for those who want to pursue their career in corporate world, or those who are, for some people, maybe they are interested in doing investment banking. Some people might be having a family business. So it helps everybody to get an opportunity to learn whatever they are interested to learn. I said family business. So many my colleagues who I used to study in a college where a lot of lot of students were coming from business families. So they all used to talk to me and tell me what are the advantages. I always used to tell them, if you join articleship, even if you don't want to do CA, you just finish articleship, you will be building your family business much better than what your dad or any brother has built. This is the kind of exposure you get for the business. You get to see the businesses from a bird's eye point of view. You will get to see all the aspects of business and learn from the success stories what you see when you are doing your articleship. And also, more importantly, you will also learn from the mistakes others have done. So this is something no other profession can provide you. So having said that, here you have to be very clear about how you want to use these 3 years. There are some students who just come, spend time, and they don't want to apply themselves. They don't show commitment. Those people may not be benefited. They will be only wasting their 3 years of time in their life. But those who really want to learn something, those who want to really transform themselves, they have very good opportunity, especially in a mid-sized firm like us, where you get to see every aspect of the profession. You get to handle all kinds of businesses. It is not just one line of work you will do. You will be exposed to all aspects of a business. And this is the 3 years is the golden period in a CF life, in a chartered accountant's life. So most of the learning happens here.
Thank you so much, sir. As you rightly mentioned, no other course would be giving the students the same type of access of blending both theory, which they have just recently learned at intermediate, and now immediately starting to practice at a CA firm, and learning from professionals, which they usually happens in other professional courses post qualification itself. So
very rightly said, Nilesh.
So from students' point of view, students, now that most of the students are watching this session, now they are just awaiting, most of them are awaiting results, and I would like to wish all of them the very best, that they clear the examination. Results are expected anywhere between 10th and 15th of Feb. But once, now that they know that the 3 years of articleship, now Reddy has also asked this question, is it 3 years or 2.5 years? Reddy, it is a 3-year period of articleship, which is mandatory. And you can write CA final exams after 2.5 years. But a lot of students also have this misconception that, sir, how important is our articleship? Or they have this query, how important is our articleship and how does it affect our CA final exams? So should we, what kind of department should we be choosing? Should we be choosing taxation, audit? What kind of department should we work? What kind of work and knowledge should we gain? And what kind of firm should we choose for articleship? And how would it affect not only our exams, but our careers post-qualification?
That's a very good question, Nilesh. Actually, if you see, most of the students nowadays, especially in the era of where they are getting a lot of help from the coaching institutes like Asia's, they are prepared. Theoretically, they are very good. The knowledge, there is no dearth. They are, in fact, getting more knowledge than required when it comes to the theoretical aspects, and they get to know the subjects so well, guided by eminent lecturers, eminent professors. So that part is taken care of. Unlike what we used to face when we were doing our CA, there were no such Yashas coaching classes. We had to prepare for ourselves. So with that taken care of, the coaching part and the knowledge part is taken care of. What you have to learn is the application of that knowledge. If you see the CA final exam, most of the papers, especially accounting, if you see, most of the questions are designed in such a way to test your practical knowledge. So how you apply your knowledge in the practical life, that is what they test. So this is very important to learn how to, even if in case of an exam, when you're writing your exam answers, Unless you have taken interest and done a practical case in your articleship, it will become difficult for you to imagine that kind of a practical situation and write the answer. If you have applied yourself when you have done your articleship and in a firm where you get good exposure, where you get to handle things at a pretty senior level, you will definitely be more confident to write that answer and in the way that an invigilator will look for. Whatever you have to, one thing you have to understand, whatever you write or whatever you communicate is not for something you have to read. What you read, what you write, you will definitely understand, no doubt about it. But it is important that what you write is clearly and without any ambiguity is understood by the reader, that is the invigilator. So this is something you learn when you are working on the job. It is not possible for you to mug up and go and write, because CA syllabus is so vast, so you cannot mug up everything and go and write. You have to learn to apply that knowledge and see how practically you solve the problems in your real life. This situation will come to you when you are doing your articleship. In the 3 years of articleship, you get to know, in the initial years, you get to know the nuances of documentation, verification, vouching, and these kind of things. And you will get to know how to analyze the business, what aspects of business you have to understand. These kind of things you get exposure in the first year. You work with a senior, and under that senior, you learn how to handle such files. And most of the times you will be a listener. When you are a listener, you will know most of the things, what goes into the planning of an audit or a tax case or a business restructuring or a merger and acquisition. So these are the things what you learn in the first year. Second year, you will start taking responsibilities for mid-size assignments. So this happens in a firm, mid-size firm. It may not happen in a big four. Big four, what happens, most of the things are handled by seniors or by qualified people, and all big corporate clients they will be handling. So the independence and the exposure what you get there is limited to doing the documentation work or maybe at a junior level work. So they will not take the risk of giving the freedom to the articles to handle till the closure level. In a firm like ours, we give opportunities for good articles who show interest and commitment to take up responsibilities, interact with the client also, and go on till the closure. This you will learn in the final year. The closures you will learn in the final year, and most of the students who have taken interest and who are very good in their studies, they show the capability to handle the clients and be confident in their work and close the matters to the satisfaction of their seniors. This is something which you will have to learn and apply yourself and learn in the articleship. This will definitely help in your exam. It can be auditing, for example. There might be an accounting standard application, question in your exam. Unless you have used that accounting standard application in your articleship, it will be difficult for you to imagine a situation and write the answer. Assuming you had a file where you had to apply that accounting standard, examine the problem or case what you had on hand and found a solution, and you had reported you had implemented in your work, it will remain in your memory forever. It is not just for the exams. It will remain in your memory until you retire. So this is something which you will acquire when you're doing your articleship. And again, having said that, it is all in your interest. If you show interest to learn, it might be your interest might be in taxation, your interest might be in auditing, your interest might be in business restructuring, it might be in FEMA matters. So whatever interest you have, by the end of third year, you would have got exposure for all work. So we will have to select the area of your interest, apply yourself, learn from start to finish everything. This will help you in not only writing your exams, but also in your career to go very confidently whatever you want to do. Rashmi, if you have anything, you can please add.
Yeah, sir. So I would just like to add upon to whatever Keshav sir told. So this 3 years articleship period is the golden period for article trainees. So you people should not take it very lightly. Take it up very seriously, because as Keshav sir told, this is a very unique course where you will be having a practical exposure when you are learning. So you might be having interest in some particular subjects theoretically, but when you get into the articleship training period, you will actually know practically which area you like, what are your capabilities. Mainly you can assess your capabilities, and even this is a learning stage, so there are seniors to take up your responsibilities even if you make mistakes. So you have to be very exploring in nature. You have to have that hunger to learn. Only then you will be able to make most of it during this 3 years period. And before you qualify, you can assess yourself during this 3 years period in which field you want to go, in which field you want to specialize. Because CA course as such is a very, very vast area, as you all know. And now the as you can see the opportunities, how it's growing. Even for a chartered accountant, it's very, very difficult to choose in which path you want to go. So this 3 years will actually give you a roadmap, like how you want to choose your career. Because 3 years is a very long time for you to assess. So this kind of opportunity you'll surely not get in any other course. So the only that's what I would like to highlight is make most use of it during this 3 years. And obviously in the next coming questions, Keshav sir will be able to give you more inputs on those specific questions.
Thank you, ma'am. Students, I would also like to summarize basically on this one point that when it comes to how your articleship exposure is there, now over these 3 years, what kind of areas that you learn, especially as sir very clearly mentioned in the subjects of accounts or accounting standards as well as Ind AS, or when it comes to the theoretical papers which you will have in your CA finals, such as auditing, law, or taxation and indirect taxation. For specifically these 5 papers, if you take up the December 2021 examination question papers, you will notice that the papers have become less direct in nature and have become more case study based and more realistic in nature, which actually are experienced in CA firms. So if you take out the paper and then if you ask your CA final seniors who have probably written the exams this time, you will notice especially the papers of audit and law are much more difficult, not because the laws have changed, but because the nature of questions which are being asked in the final exam are now more practical in nature and not direct theory questions. So unless you do not have the right type of exposure at articleship level and are not gaining the kind of experience which is required today, you will find such papers difficult even from an examination point of view. So therefore, it is very, very important that the kind of firm that you join, you are supposed to make sure that you are able to gain these type of experiences, that you will get exposed to at least these type of nuances where you are able to take certain decisions or are under direct mentorship from your seniors. So this is a very important factor to keep in mind while you choose articleship and how serious you are at the articleship level, because this will also help you clear CA final. Because students, there are also a lot of students, especially 5-10 years ago, who used to find a way to do dummy articleships, who used to just take up the course from a qualification point of view, actually not go for articleship, just register under certain firms. And in case that you if that were to happen today, and even if you have managed to do this malpractice, still to clear the CA final examination is going to become even more challenging for you today, because you do not have practical exposure, and that is a must today to clear CA final examination, not just the theoretical knowledge. So
correct.
Now that we have understood what is the role of articleship, now the next step that the students usually have and they would want to ask is that what kind of work was, and I think you addressed a lot of these points also in the previous question. But again, to reiterate, what kind of work must one expect during the articleship tenure? So if they were to just start their articleship, how would their progression be, and what kind of work should they expect to do?
Yeah, this is something which everybody should know in they join a firm for articleship. You get to, in a firm, in a mid-sized firm like ours, where we have all kinds of departments. We have about 8 partners handling each of the specialities, and we have a team of we have officers across 9 countries, we not only get to handle SME clients like small businesses, what is happening, we also handle international clients. So this kind of an firm, if you join, you will get exposure to handle all aspects of your commerce. For example, it might be international taxation. So you will get to know, if you initially you will get exposure in all the divisions. It is not like you will be doing only taxation or you will be doing only audit. So you will get an opportunity to work with all the teams on, for example, 3 months, 6 months on a rotation basis. But if you want to really apply yourself for one particular specialty, since if you have already decided about your career plans, you want to get into investment banking, for example, you will be given an opportunity to work with our merger and acquisition team, and we have a business restructuring team where you will get an opportunity to work there. So these kind of opportunities are there in a mid-sized firm like us. In case you go to a big four firm, you will, in my experience and in my feedbacks, whatever I have got from many of my colleagues and from my students who has come back to our office, the exposure is limited to one particular area. You will be given responsibility under a big company. You will be handling most of the years, one maybe one full year, 6 months, you will be handling only one client. This kind of restrictions are there in big four firm. But in a mid-sized firm like us, you, as I said, you will not only get an opportunity to work in all the divisions, you, as depending on the kind of commitment and the interest you show, you will also get to handle matters from start to finish. So you will get to see how the matters are closed. Coming to the progression, what Nilesh was asking, you in the initial year, that is the first year, as I've already told you, it will be it will be an year for you to get into the groove. You will now get to see the documentation aspect. You will be studying the at the grassroots level, the business aspects, the watching, and all these things you will be doing at the in the first year. Second year will be the compilation of data, what is required for an audit, how you make an analysis data. Now today, if you see, if you are good in Excel, you can do a lot of data analytics. So you will start compiling the data and maybe handling some small closures also, the small time SME clients closures also you will be handling in the second year. And in the final year, all these things you will be supported by your junior articles, and this data will be compiled and given it to you, and you will be involved in the higher level data analytics, and you will be preparing the, for example, it is an international taxation matter. So you will be preparing the computation for the international taxation, and you will be preparing the report for the international taxation client. And these kind of things you will be doing in the final year. So this is the kind of progression you will see. So at the end of your articleship, this whatever you do here will not only help in your exams. At the end of your articleship, you will also go out confidently to handle any client independently without any body above you to guide you. So this is the kind of exposure you get in a small size firm, where you in a firm like us, where in Keshava Chartered Accountants, we have all the divisions, and also we have a tie-up with InCorp. InCorp is a coming together of like-minded CA firms across the country, and also we have presence in 9 other countries in Asia. So this details of this we will be providing after this session. So this is something which you will have to consider when you choose a firm for articleship, and what kind of interest you show. All these things matters when you really choose the articleship program.
I would like to add one point here. So I mainly I wanted to highlight the uniqueness of our firm, and being InCorp in partnership with us now. So the uniqueness is we ensure that all the articles who are there in our office gets exposure to all kinds of work. So we have a concept of rotation. So half yearly or yearly basis, we rotate all the articles in each team to make sure that they get exposure to all kind of clients, the different sectors where they are in, and make sure that they will get an understanding of all the concepts which is available in the CA syllabus. So, or the clients or the different clientele what we have, so that they will get a feel of all kind of works what they can understand and grasp. So as I told earlier, it all depends on the interests of the article trainees, how best they want to make use of this. Because we at our office, at the partners level, we encourage students a lot if they have that eagerness to learn. And any kind of request they ask, we will make sure that we accommodate it, and we ensure that kind of exposure is given to them. We'll be very happy if they come forward to learn eagerly. Yes, sir.
Thank
Next
you so
question.
much, ma'am.
Yeah.
Now that, ma'am, another question that we had, I had thought from the students' point of view was, yes, and a few of the students have also asked us in the chat. Now, while choosing the right organization for the articleship, what kind of factors should be considered? Sir has clearly, Keshav sir has already given us the differentiation as to what would be the difference between the big four and a mid-sized firm, and what would be ideal usually for students. But to summarize, what would be the major factor which from a student should look at while choosing the right organization for him?
Yeah, Nilesh, nowadays the students are, we have seen the current Gen students, when they come, they are more interested to know how much of leave they get, how much of stipend they get. These are the questions what we normally get when they come for interviews. This is all very trivial, in my opinion. This is all something which doesn't matter for you. As you are students, you don't have responsibility on your shoulders. Your parents are supporting you. So, and you are here not to take leave and enjoy. You are here, 3 years is like a penance. You have to ensure that you sacrifice everything. You do your hard work, and you use this 3-year period to transform yourself. So this is not something what you have to think of. What you have to look for is the kind of opportunities you get when you join a firm for articleship. Whether you will get a good guidance from the seniors who are there, whether you will have independence, whether you will have opportunity to innovate. A lot of things you learn when you're studying for a CA course. As a student, everybody will have their own skill sets. So maybe there are some students who are very good and who want to innovate from the knowledge what they have gained during their studies. This kind of innovation is possible only in a mid-sized firm where you are given independence to handle things. So this is, I have been advocating to join a mid-sized firm basically because the kind of independence and the opportunities you get there are definitely more important, more useful to you in your career than what you get in a big four size firm. In a mid-sized firm, when you handle things efficiently, when you show that commitment, you will get opportunity not only to handle the work aspect, you will also get to handle the clients. So this will teach you the interpersonal skills, how to handle clients, how to handle real life situations. In our office, we also provide opportunities for students to make representations. In the second year itself, some of the articles have got opportunities to accompany the seniors for representation. Now, of course, all faceless, it has gone. So a lot of cases we have in the third year of articleship, a lot of cases have been represented by articles also. This is something which doesn't happen in a big four firm. I'm talking about the taxation matters. So likewise, in any other field, if you see, you have to get opportunity to get a perspective of the entire work, what you are looking for, entire aspect of the subject, what you are looking for. So this is what you should look for when you choose a firm for articleship.
Thank you so much, sir. I hope the students have got the understanding of what kind of basic factors we should keep in mind while choosing a CA firm, which we'll be applying to. And now that we have understood, the next step, sir, the students would be asking is that how should we apply? When should we apply? What is the right time? Should we wait for results to apply for the interviews? Can we apply for the interviews right away? So if you could answer from that point of view, and how should they prepare for these interviews? There's another question which students keep asking. So what kind of questions would they ask? What are their expectations from a student point of view from CA firms? So now that we have one of the most reputed mid-sized firms in Bangalore here, if you could help them with this specific question.
Yeah, this is very important because when you go for articleship interviews, you should know what kind of questions you will be asked and what kind of answers you should be prepared with. basically, as I said, you should show interest in learning. Basically, you should show interest in using the 3 years productively, not just for sake of, articleship is mandatory, otherwise you will not get certificate. That kind of a mindset will not give you opportunity anywhere. So this is something first you should bear in mind. And you should be very clear about what exactly you want to do in the 3-year period. You should be very vocal when you go for the interview, and you should say that this is what you want to look for. And most of the people who come for articleship would have already completed their IPCC, both the groups. That's the preference what we show in our firm. So if you have completed your IPCC, you will definitely know what is there in each of these subjects, what you study. For example, accountancy. Accountancy, you will already know more basic aspects of accountancy, how it will be applied, and what kind of specialty it is, and what kind of things you study when you go. And you might be asked some questions, or maybe even a written exam in accountancy, but that will be very basic compared to what you would have already faced in IPCC. And you should also know that when you go for an interview, some of the panelists there would be chartered accountants themselves. So they would have already experienced all the things what you are going to experience. So they will look for the kind of interest and the attitude you show when you answer those questions. So this is something which I think you should be aware of. And before going, you choose whatever firm you want to go, whether it is big four, mid-sized firm, whatever. Before going for interview, you should make one attempt to do some research on that firm. You can go to their website, understand what kind of work they are doing, what kind of strength they have. All those things will help you to also find out. You can also ask them in the interview what kind of exposure you get when you join them. So these are the things what you can be aware when you go prepared for the interview.
I would like to add some 2 points here. So first thing is, most importantly, make sure you prepare a very good and attractive CV. So that's very important. Just don't do a copy paste or something. Be honest with whatever you're going to put in that document, because that is going to speak for you on behalf of you to the interviewer. So second thing is, make sure you do research about the organization where you're going to attend the interview. That's very, very important, because that will give you a lot of confidence to the interviewer as well as yourself. So these 2 things also you just keep in mind when you are going for an interview. And obviously technically you have to be sound, know the profile what you're going for, the profile you're going the interview for, so that you can be technically sound as well. Prepare yourself for that particular profile. And if these areas are taken care of, I'm sure you'll be very confident in cracking the interview.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Another important question would be relating to the same topic is, when are our students supposed to apply for such interviews, ma'am?
I suggest,
can they wait for results, or should they start applying now?
If they're confident of clearing, I'm sure they have to start immediately after their exams, because as you all are aware, it's so competitive now. And when you see you have a good opportunity, I don't think anyone should miss it. Don't wait for results or anything, because it can be accommodated, and whatever is required, the necessary plans can be made. But if you're confident of clearing, I suggest immediately you start going for interviews, even as an experience. So there's no harm in attending interviews. You can gain experience as well as you start attending these interviews. So that will be a good platform to start with after you finish your exams.
So
also, after the results are announced, there might be rush. There might be demand for the firms, good mid-sized firms or popular firms to take articleship, and we also will not have so much of vacancy. So depending on the situation, we will have to engage the articles. So if you go before interview, you will get an opportunity to at least make sure that you will once you pass you get pass from your results, you will get you are already booked your seat, and you will get an opportunity to immediately start your articleship.
And I'm sure
I would always suggest to start your effort now, even before getting the results.
Correct.
And I think most of the students will be aware that our institute itself conducts a lot of campus interviews. So once you finish your exams or once the results are out, you can look for those opportunities also.
Right. So I would request all students to make sure, in case you have not already prepared your CVs, start researching on how to prepare a good CV. Like ma'am very clearly mentioned, don't make a copy paste CV, but be very honest with what you're presenting over there and do your research and start applying to the firms, because the good firms, as sir very mentioned, the demand would be high after the results are out. And in case your application comes later, it would always be on a first come first serve basis if all the candidates are good. So therefore, if you believe that you want to have the edge in getting through this kind of firm that you want to go to, make sure that you prepare your CVs, update them, and start researching the CA firms you want to apply to, and already send them your CVs, because once the results are out, that is when they will call you for the interviews. But at least let them start with the basic process now. The students don't really have to wait nowadays up to the results. You can send in your CVs already, put in the column where your intermediate marks, put it as a result expected. And once the results are out, you can immediately revert back to these firms saying that, yes, our results are out, we have cleared. So then based on that, they can immediately call you for your interview process. Harshini asks, sir, how do we apply for articleship at VKCA InCorp?
We'll be taking that up at the end.
Yes.
We will explain
Yes,
that.
we will be taking this up next. But before that, sir, I would also like, ma'am and sir, if you could give our students a little brief about VKCA InCorp as to what is the firm, so that they can start applying for articleship, as well as in case qualified CAs are looking at this seminar, they can definitely apply for those positions as well.
Thank you, Nilesh. Having taken you through the general aspects of articleship, now I would like to just highlight about our firm. Vinay and Keshava is a CA firm which was founded in 1991. We are a 30-year-old firm, and we have over 100 people working in our organization. And recently, we have tied up with a company called InCorp, which is an advisory firm. InCorp is basically coming together of various CA firms across the country. We have three big firms from Mumbai joining us, and we have from Chennai. And similarly, we have presence in 9 different countries: Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia, and various Asian countries. And we have over 12,000 clients InCorp under the InCorp umbrella. And we get to service 70% of these 12,000 clients are all international clients. And we have over 500 employees in our organization. And one aspect which you should consider when you are joining articleship in a firm like ours is, I think we have missed out. Muskan is here. CA Muskan is a chartered accountant today. She cleared her exams recently from our office, and she is joined us for career growth. In fact, she did her articleship with us, and she was one of the very bright students of our firm. And since we were very much impressed with her work, and we immediately give her an opportunity to continue in our office. And most of our partners today, like Rashmi, they've done their articleship in our firm and joined us as partners today. Rashmi worked for some time, and then she got opportunity to become a partner. And these kind of opportunities you get in a mid-sized firm like ours, where you have very close interaction with the management, with the senior partners, and with the other partners. So having said that, now coming back to what kind of exposure you get joining InCorp or in joining Vinay Keshava, these are the kind of work what we are currently doing. We are doing a lot of work on management advisory. We do business restructuring for companies. And in the management advisory, we advise management based on the data we collect. We compile the data, do some analysis, and I guide them where they are going wrong, where they should strengthen their business, and what kind of threats they can foresee. So these are the kind of advices we give. A lot of people who are in the senior management or running big companies, they expect chartered accountants to help them out with this kind of decisions. Then we have a separate division looking into the corporate and secretarial matters. This is most of the company law matters. So this is a specialized division. We also have private equity and debt syndication. This is something which will be very interesting for students who are looking for investment banking as a career. So today, if you see in India is a very big market for private equity, and Bangalore is a startup capital of India. In fact, the highest number of startups are coming from Bangalore across the world, if you see. So this is an area where the current CS students will be interested. So this is an opportunity. You will get this opportunity in our firm. Then tax advisory, we do a lot of international taxation. This has been our legacy practice only, but now it's not like that. Tax advisory is part of our profession, but definitely it is a major part. So a lot of students are still giving preference for tax advisory. So you will get good opportunity here. FEMA and international taxation. We do a lot of work on FEMA and international taxation. Valuations. As I said, I'm a registered valuer. We do a lot of valuation work. We also have one IBC, that is business restructuring and liquidation services. So there also we have valuation work. Then risk assurance and due diligence. This is something which we do for high net worth individuals who wants to invest in projects and who want due diligence to be done for target entities. It can be for a private equity firm. It can be for an investment banker. So we give them the service of doing a due diligence on that, and also assessing the risk of the investments what they are getting into. And M&A is the merger and acquisition. So this is also one of the areas where the new gen CS students are looking at as a career. Payroll and CFO services. CFO services is becoming very popular today because of the SME segment. Most of the SMEs who are very at the start of the business cycle, they might find difficult to engage a CFO for their operations. But those people will definitely need services of a CFO. So those kind of entities will come to us for CFO services. So you, as an article, you will get to know what kind of responsibility you will handle as a CFO of a big company. From the experience of what you gain by handling this kind of services in our organization. Then we also have a legal division where we do a lot of drafting work. So this will give you exposure for drafting petitions, agreements, shareholders agreement, all these things, drafting skills you will learn. And family office management, again, as I said, we have a lot of high net worth individuals for whom we handle their family offices. Then cyber security solutions. This is something new gen practice. So like IT audit, the information technology audit. If you are interested to do some ESA course, so these are the opportunities what you will get. We have a partner who is qualified ESA graduate, so he handles all our forensic audits and IT audits. So these are the services what we have in us. And in a growing firm like us, it's the opportunities are humongous for growth. So we advise you to make use of this opportunity and grow with us. You will get, as I said, you will not only get opportunity to learn here, but if you are good enough, if we think that you are a very good resource, we have appetite to observe more and more good talent. So this is something which we can assure you. The reason why we say we are having a cutting edge we are a cutting edge financial institution, basically because we are in the middle. We are not as big as a big four. We are not as small as a small CF firm. We are in the phase of growth. We are handling most of the work what a big four does, and also work what a small CF firm does. So this is a combination of both. And we have professionals coming from Big Four who have joined us recently. And we also have CS who have graduated and joined us as partners. So this is an opportunity for you to explore your career.
Thank you so much, sir.
Career progression, I think we have already touched upon this. I think we can.
I think I don't know who is.
Just a second. Just a second. I think a student is unable to.
These kind of students also we will get people who just want to have fun.
Yes, sir. We can continue.
We also have in our firm an article buddy and education buddy concept, where we provide opportunity for the joinees, the first year articles to get mentored by a senior. So they will work with a designated senior who will work with them as their buddy and settle them in the office in the new system and give them guidance about not only the work what they do in their articleship, but also how to approach their CA career, how to make use of their time, how to study, all those things they provide. So we have work buddy and an education buddy. Work buddy will be helping them out with the work what they handle during their tenure. And education buddy is somebody who will who has already qualified recently and who will be guiding them about their studies, planning how they studied and how they were successful, how much time they spent, all those things. You will get an opportunity to interact with the seniors and learn from their experiences. This is something unique to our organization. So these are the kind of opportunities which I have already touched upon: audit and assurance, taxation, investment banking, FEMA, international taxation, debt advisory. These are the kind of work what you will be handling in our organization. We recently had a survey amongst all the articles who were pursuing across all our offices. We have 3 offices in Mumbai, 1 in Chennai, and 1 in Bangalore. So we had a small survey, and the on parameters, we identified 9 parameters, and we got a rating. This is something which very few firms does. We also want to know how good, how well the articles are taking our firm. So this is the kind of rating what we got. Most of the ratings we have more than 4. And we give opportunities for articles to come up with their suggestions and with their issues, and we have a dedicated HR department, and we have a HR sitting in our office, so they can always approach her and she will be able to solve all their problems. So this is the rating what we got in your survey. Now I can take questions if there are any, if I have not answered already.
Thank you so much, sir. I would request students, if you have any specific questions for sir, whether it's related to whether joining VKCA InCorp, or whether it is related not from a technical point of view. If you have any questions as to, sir, how to do ITT orientation, please guide those questions towards me, and I will also address those in a separate session. But if you have any questions which sir can help you with from a CA's perspective, then please do put across those questions. I think one of the students, the documents part, I will, students are asking, sir, what kind of documents should they submit? I'll just answer this small question. You have to just basically submit a cover letter, which basically puts in your intention as to why you want to join the specific firm, your CV, obviously, and your documents to support your qualification. That is your 10th certificate, 12th certificate, CA Foundation marks card. And once you receive your intermediate marks card, do copy of those as well. These are the documents which you'll have to submit when you're going for interviews and starting your interview process. I hope this answers that technical question. Sir, Dhuriga asked, sir, can we join Articleship after completing group 1?
You can apply subject to availability of vacancy we take, because we always give preference to those who have completed both the groups, because the seats are very limited. But we on special situations, special cases, we have taken only 1 group completed. So that is also possible. There's no there's nothing wrong in applying for the articleship.
I would like to address this as well. Students, see, when it comes to the good firms, as you all are aware, there are going to be limited seats because there is only a limited number of students any firm can take under them as article, even from ICI's point of view. So obviously, because there are going to be multiple applications to CA firms, so only the ones who will be scoring the highest and ideally who have cleared both the groups would be getting preferences in the best of firms. But like sir very clearly mentioned, if a student has shown merit just even by clearing one of the groups, that does not mean that you cannot apply. You can certainly apply, but ideally, and this is why I always mention even at the inter level, why students should always go for both the groups at a time and clear it, because at this stage, it becomes pertinent that your chances of getting into the kind of firm you want to go through will always increase when you have cleared both the groups. Having said that, yes, even if you have cleared one of the groups, you can apply to these firms.
Also, there will be an interview where you will have to show that you are even if you are one group qualified, you have the capability and the interest to really do your CA, because many CA, if you see CA results are only 15%. So a lot of students, they just join CA just to try out their option here, and they give up in the middle. So this is something which is going to affect not only you, even the firm which gives you an opportunity to do. So that is the reason we are very selective, and we want to be very clear when we are taking one group cleared students.
Got it. So one of the students asks us, will we get some time to complete our ITT or orientation programs, which are mandatory once our interview process is completed? I'll directly answer this for Pawan. Pawan, yes. If you have qualified in an interview, you are not allowed to basically join, as I've already mentioned to you all in the groups. Students are mandatorily supposed to complete the ITT and orientation programs before they are allowed to join articleship in any firm. So therefore, in case you get selected in the interview, you will, in case your RTT or orientation is still incomplete, either one of them or both of them, most firms will, if you get selected, you will get the time to complete it. And that's the date. Once you're completed, from that date, your articleship will technically start. But yes, you will get that time. So not to worry. Just because your ITT or orientation is not complete does not mean you cannot apply. You can start applying and finish your interview and selection process. And these technicalities, the firms and their HRs will look into. So not to worry about that aspect at all. So one of the students is also asking, who she happens to be from Tamil Nadu. So in case she wants to apply under InCorp, where can she apply? Should she, where would be the place in Tamil Nadu where she can apply, or can she apply directly at Bangalore itself at VKCA InCorp?
Currently, we don't have vacancy in Chennai, so we are going to engage some more partners there. So after that, you will get opportunity to do articleship in Chennai itself, but you can apply in Bangalore or even in Mumbai. If you want to really do your articleship in Mumbai, that is possible. Bangalore, we have some vacancies. You can apply in Bangalore. And Chennai, we will be shortly, as I said, shortly starting our, increasing our team size there. So once we do, we can, you contact us. We will definitely provide if an opportunity is there.
Nuriga, I hope this answers your question. Another question is, sir, so one of the students asked, sir, does number of attempts at intermediate level matter when they are applying for articleship?
No, it doesn't matter. We as I said earlier, we will have our own assessment. We don't go by your results, how many attempts you've taken or anything. We would like to assess you, your capability to apply your knowledge practically in our office. So that is something which will not be, accessible from the marks or the performance in your exam. The exam is only going to show how much of theoretical knowledge you have gained. But in the interview, we will know how good you are in the application of that knowledge in the practical aspects. So that is going to determine your success in getting selected. So don't go by number of attempts you have taken or anything. As long as you are eligible as per the ICAI regulations to apply and get into articleship, you can always apply.
Got it, sir. Thank you, sir. So some students, I think Pratik has a question whether he can transfer his articleship. Pratik, this is a very technical question. Your students are allowed to only transfer articleship once they are changing their city or state. So they have to justify it to ICAI before they are changing city or state and why they are changing the articleship form. But in case you are changing and you're eligible under that criteria and you wish to apply, you can definitely apply and get in touch with the HR at InCorp, and they can certainly help you with this. The details I will be sharing in after the meeting. I will be sharing it on your respective groups. Aditya, sir, should they apply the resumes through the website or should they visit the firms? Or whether it's InCorp or in general, if you could help them with this.
Yeah, I'll just take up this question, Nilesh. So as I told earlier, so all of you can send your resumes to this email address, what you can see on the screen, hrvkca@vkca.com. And so even before before you apply, you want to know about our organization, please do visit our website. So Vinay and Keshava Chartered Accountants is the firm which will be registering you as an article trainee. So InCorp, as we told, so we are partners with InCorp, and obviously you'll be under the banner of InCorp as well, where you will be getting exposure to works. So please do visit both the websites and know more about our organization, and share your resumes to this email address. You can probably take a picture of this, or probably Nilesh will share this presentation with you all. So once you guys are ready with your CVs, please do send your CVs in this to this email ID.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, and you can follow us on all these social medias as well.
I request students to please make note, in case you are going to apply to VKCA or InCorp, make note of this email ID, hrvkca@vkca.com. Kindly send in your resumes over there, and the HR will get in touch with you for the further process. Some of you have this question, sir, in case we are expecting to clear, we finish, go and clear the interview, attend the interview, but don't end up clearing the examination. Well, in that case, obviously, your selection cannot be completed, because the first requirement would be that you clear the examination. Until then, you cannot start articleship. So in that case, you will have to go back and finish your exams. Once you have cleared, then you can reapply. Once you have cleared, then you can reapply. But up to the results, again, if you're, so therefore, most of you would have an inclination that you, at least you're expecting to clear. Some would be very clear that yes, we are very, very confident, whether others are not very sure. It's very dicey. In case it's very dicey, then I would recommend to wait. But in case you feel that you have a fair chance of clearing, then always go ahead and finish up with these processes. It'll give you an edge. There is no harm in applying anyways. Varuna sir, can direct entry students also go about applying if they are under the direct entry scheme?
Yeah, you can apply. So as Keshav sir told earlier, based on the requirements and availability, we will surely consider those candidates if they are capable of joining our organization.
Right. And students also, ma'am, one more last question for the students. Will BCom matter while they are joining articleship, whether they're doing from distance learning or any university?
No. We usually see only the qualification of IPCC, whether they have cleared 2 groups. So along with that, if they're still pursuing their BCom, we don't mind taking them for articleship.
Harshini has a query, ma'am. What are the sectors that we will be covering at InCorp? I think, Harshini, this was already covered in the slides earlier. But ma'am, if you could just brief her about the sectors that we are covering at the firm.
Yeah, so
Nilesh, I have a call now. I will have to log out. I think Rashmi will be answering those questions. Thanks Nilesh for providing this opportunity. And I wish all the students who have participated all the very best for their career.
Thank you so much, sir. And thanks a lot for taking out your time for guiding our students.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, so as told earlier, we have direct taxes, indirect taxes, merger and acquisitions, business restructuring, insolvency practice, and RBI FEMA matters. So these are the core areas where we have expertise in our office, and along with that, the CFO services. So that's the most budding division now. So we will, as I told earlier, we will make sure that the articles maximum possible, we'll make sure that the articles do get exposure in all the divisions what we have. So that doesn't mean that you'll be able to explore or learn everything, because it's only a period of 3 years what you have. You will have the limitations, whatever is there. So don't expect to get exposure in everything, because I'm telling this frequently. So we'll try our best to make sure that you get exposure in all the divisions what we are specializing.
Absolutely. I hope that answers your query, Harshini. Aditya, when you have to submit your cover letter, your CV, as well as the documents which I mentioned when you're applying, not only to VKCA, but to all CA firms, this is a prerequisite. You have to, wherever you're applying, this is the format which you have to follow when you're applying for articleship. I hope, thank you so much, Rashmi ma'am, for your time and enlightening our students about the articleship experience. I'm sure you're going to hear from, and your HR is going to hear from a lot of our students as well. And this has helped them in making the right decision as to how they are supposed to go about their articleship. and where they should be taking, how they should be taking the decision as to where they want to be doing it. Thanks a lot for your time, ma'am.
I request all of you to just spread a word of mouth regarding the session, whatever you had, so that this knowledge can be shared with your other friends also who might be having a lot of questions regarding the articleship. So we are always there to give any kind of clarifications or opinions what you guys need. You people are most welcome to reach out to us anytime.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, students, for your time. Again, wishing you all the very best. Ma'am, do we have
I think, yeah, we
Muskan
have
or Varun with
Muskan.
us?
Yes, we have
Well,
Muskan with us. Muskan,
so
can you just come online?
students, we would like to give you a little bit of an experience from a recently qualified chartered accountant, CA Muskan Jain, who also did her articleship, as sir mentioned, at VKCA. And she would like to give her points about how the articleship experience was for her. What are the important factors which she was able to learn, and how was her experience in the firm as well? Muskan, over to you. Are you there? Just a minute.
I'll just. Yeah, I think Muskan is here with us. Muskan, can you just share a few words of your experience at our organization?
Are you able to unmute yourself, Muskan?
Yes, sir. Now, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, so we had a good session of 1 hour where Keshav sir and Rashmi ma'am, run you all through what are the different aspects of articleship you can expect. What I would like to say is this is a very good field you have chosen for your career. Now that you have, come to your interest stage and you're looking for articleship, I would like to say that you will gain a lot of confidence and experience while working with any firm for that matter. And I'm very proud and happy that I'm a part of Vinay and Keshav, and I've joined here as a qualified associate also. Here, everybody, including the partners, are very accessible. So you are open; they are open to all your ideas and innovations. And if you have anything, if you want to get any clarification as such, so there is no barrier in between you and the partner as such. So it is a good working environment what you can expect over here. And from my experience, I would say that if you're giving 3 years of articleship at any place, you make sure that that place is very comfortable for you to work, and you're having a good work life balance as well, because at the end you have to look up to your studies as well, and you have to clear, because that should be your one of the priorities when you take up articleship. So just make sure whatever points sir and ma'am has given today, you are incorporating them before choosing the right firm for you.
Thank you so much, Muskan, for sharing your experience. I hope it inspires the students to understand as to how our journey ahead is going to be, as to once we decide to make our decision of joining articleship after clearing CA intermediate, how those 3 years are going to basically mold us to ensure that we become qualified professionals, chartered accountants, and that's when our careers are going to begin. And these 3 years are basically going to pave the way as to what kind of professional you will end up becoming, the expertise that you're going to gain. So therefore, as sir, ma'am have already, Keshav sir and Rashmi ma'am have already very clearly mentioned, the takeaway for us is do your research about the kind of firm you want to do your articleship at. Be very specific, do the research as to what kind of exposure you're going to get. Be open-minded and honest with yourself. And during these 3 years, be a very good listener, as sir has very clearly mentioned, because as long as you're willing to learn, any firm will give you opportunities. And if when you show your commitment and have the backing for the same. But if you do not have the learning and are looking to do articleship only from the point of view to clear examination, then that is how you get selected. Based on that attitude, you'll get selected into those types of firms, and that would also shape how your career would pan post qualification. So these 3 years are as, if not more important than the examinations. So these 3 years are extremely important. Do not take just the exams or just articleship. Both have to go hand in hand. And that is why it is very important with the kind of decisions that you make. Do your research now before the results are out, because later it could be late. Once the results are out, everybody would be applying. So that is why the seminar today, so that you all get a good idea. Now, from the technical point of view, sir, what are the forms to fill? Form 103, 104. Don't be worried about these aspects. Once you have got selected any firm, the CA firm's HR will help you with how you're supposed to technically register with ICI as an article. So do not be worried about those technical aspects at all. I thank you all, especially the panelists.
Nilesh,
Rashmi
sorry to
ma'am.
interrupt. I think Varun is also there with us, so I would
Okay.
like him also to share a few words before we conclude.
Certainly, ma'am. Varun, if you're able to join. Hi, Varun.
Hello.
Hi, Varun. If you could please share your experience with the students.
Yes, so I joined InCorp back in 2018, InCorp VKCA. I completed my articleship here and I recently qualified, and I am continuing here as an qualified as an assistant. So what I would like to tell is, when we are in intern or intern or IPC, what happens is we don't know which field to select, because only on the basis of theoretical knowledge we cannot choose a single field. So getting exposure to few fields is very important, so that we can at the end of 3 years of articleship we can choose which field we want to work as a qualified chartered accountant. So a firm like VKCA InCorp, what it does is it gives you exposure to many important fields like in direct taxation, indirect taxation, and few others. What it does is it helps you to find out where you are good at. Only on the basis of theoretical knowledge you cannot choose it. So it is very important that if you join a firm like VKCA InCorp, you will get exposure to every field. And what I did was I was working in direct taxation, and I got very good exposure. The team was very good, and even the partners were very cooperative. So it has been a very comfortable journey. I'm continuing here as a qualified assistant, and I'm still learning every day. It has been 3.5 years, but still every day is a challenge. Every day we learn new things. So there's no day where you feel that work is getting monotonous or it is like the same kind of work. You will learn each and every day. Each and every day you will get new challenges. So that's how my journey has been, and it's a very good firm. So please make sure that you apply. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Varun. Nilesh, you're on mute.
Thank you so much, Varun, for sharing your experience. And thanks to all the students and the panelists for your valuable time. I'm sure the students have a lot to take away from today's session. Yes, students who have the query that will we be sharing the recording, I will be sharing the recording on your respective groups. I would like if you could all just thank ma'am and including Muskan and Varun for sharing their experience. It is really important for you all to learn, understand from your seniors how their experience was, what are all kind of challenges that they have gone through. And this is what you learn once you join any firm. When you speak to your seniors, you will get to learn from their experience as well. That is why a good firm is very important.
Thank you, Nilesh. Thank you, everyone. I hope this session is helpful to you guys. It's more of a guidance before you're going to apply for articleship. I think I expect this is an eye opener for you all before you start your articleship training period and your career as a chartered accountant. So I wish all of you all the very best for your results, and hope you all excel in your career path, whatever you choose. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. And wishing all the students for the very best for the results. I will post the further details on the groups. Thank you all, and bye-bye.
Thanks.